Welcome to another edition of the Willy Bragg Show. I am back. I'm a kind of late, but not really. Meaning that I was supposed to be on at 8. Was running a little bit behind, getting prepped up for the show, but I ended up prepping earlier than I anticipated. The trials and error of my life, I guess you could say. We have Daniel Berry Sports and Highlights. Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. We have Warren. Hey. So I hope everybody's doing well today. And what I wanted to do was to basically say how correct I was in 2020 over a few things. I'm going to play some clippings from some of my old videos. Some views I've had in the old videos, I've kind of altered since then or evolved. Some things I said in the videos still came through, but it was delayed by 4 years, if you know what I mean. And and this is mostly about Bernie Sanders. Now, I've said all along that I was the original Bernie bro, which I insist. If I wasn't the original Bernie bro, damn it, I was pretty damn early online as the Bernie bro. But I think I might have been the original online Bernie bro, going back to the 1990s. And I call myself now a former Bernie bro. I probably need to put that on all my social media accounts. Former Bernie bro. And what I mean by that is that I don't hate the guy. I admit I might still have a bit of sympathy for him. But I just basically am disillusioned with him at the same time. He got the national conversation going, which I'm grateful for, and he opened up a space on the online forums. I mean, a lot of us are here because of Bernie, so that is definitely a positive outcome, regardless of what we think of Bernie today. But he has let us down. Partly his fault, but not 100% his fault. It is the Democratic Party, and you have to go and leave that party to get anything done, in my view. So anyway, what I'm going to do is before I get started with a clipping from the past, I will get started with this young lady, Brianna Joy Gray, and there she is, proudly wearing her Bernie sweater. A few days ago, she was celebrating her 5th year as the National Press Secretary for Bernie Sanders. And and I've been following Brianna Joy Gray since then. I've been kind of impressed with her. There's a lot of people that don't like her and kind of rag on me for listening to her, but I have to say, when I listen to her, I have to ask people, where's the lie in a lot of things she has to say. I mean, she is independent. She's very critical of the two-party system, and she fights as an overt leftist. And I just think she's one of the better commentators out there. She's one of the top people I listen to these days, and I have some criticisms of her. I won't go into it right now, but I still, on policy and ideology, what have you. I mean, she is pretty much spot on most things, and she posted a tweet, and let me go ahead and find that tweet real quick. I hold on a second here. She posted a tweet a little while back, and if I can find it, I'll go and share it with you all. And let me go ahead and share screen. Right here is the Bernie Sanders statement on the election, and so here, Bernie Sanders talking about, basically in a nutshell, he's complaining about how the Democrats have been a letdown. It should come as no great surprise that the Democratic Party, which has abandoned the working class people, would find that the working class has abandoned them. And while the Democratic leadership defends the status quo, and that, anyway, I went and did a Photoshop, of that, put it on Facebook. But she posted on the tweet, because I wanted people to read her tweet, because she was correct and spot on when she says that then why didn't you run yourself or support a change candidate? What's the point of being an independent if you spend your political capital manufacturing consent for candidates who you apparently don't even believe in? And correct that she is, because I've always said that she was one of the best people in the 2020 Bernie Sanders campaign. She was, because she was more like old school Bernie Sanders than Bernie Sanders himself. And he didn't mention Brianna Joy Gray, but the Amazing Atheist in one of his live streams several years ago, complaining about what went wrong with the Bernie Sanders campaign. And I tend to agree with him that he thinks that he's listened to a lot of the wrong people. And one of the quote unquote wrong people that he listened to was Ro Khanna of California, Congressman Ro Khanna of California. And the fact that he listened to Congressman Ro Khanna on several issues, trying to be too much of a normie Democrat, for one, when the secret sauce to Bernie Sanders' success the very first time round was to be this anti-establishment outsider. And whatever you and me and everyone in this audience think of Tulsi Gabbard, rejecting her endorsement for her to go and endorse Joe Biden was not exactly the smartest move in the campaign either, from many standpoints. She could be in the Trump administration is partly the result of Ro Khanna's urging of Bernie Sanders not to accept the endorsement of Tulsi Gabbard. And so and I have my views about whether Tulsi Gabbard should become director of national intelligence or not. I have my views on that. I hate this country that much at this point. But anyway, what I basically want to say is that regarding Bernie Sanders, I am so angry that the United States missed an opportunity to get out of this shithole that we managed to dig ourselves into. And I really have no hope in the United States at this point. And I mean, it's kind of doomerism, but it is what it is. And I hope to be proven wrong one day. I really do. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and play some videos of Bernie Sanders from my videos on the Bernie Sanders campaign when I first started doing live stream. This is from 2020. This is like from the first couple of months of me doing live streaming. And the name of my channel was not originally the Willy Bragg Show. It was called Bernie Bro. That was literally the name of my channel at that time. So this is not in any particular order, but this is This is one of my early videos here. It's called DNC's Attempt to Cheat Bernie Sanders is Why We Need an Independent Labor Party, which is still my position today. So with no further ado, here we go. Hello, I'm Bernie Bro, and I'm on a roll today with a lot of ranting to get out of my chest. I'm here to crusade for Bernie Sanders in 2020 and beyond. I'll make it short and sweet. For many, many years, I've always been pretty much an independent. I started off as a Democrat. Then I became a member of the Socialist Party USA. Had a little bit of fun at it. Very rewarding, very informative. I think I'm a better person in spite of some of the crap that went on in there, and the taking over by some questionable people later on, where the character of the party changed. But I still kind of see things through the eyes of somebody that was in the Socialist Party USA in the 1990s. Well, I think that this country has done a disservice to themselves by not having a viable labor or social democratic party. And some people will be like, well, you know, you got the Democrats, that's where the workers are at, and that's where the disenfranchised, and that's where the people are. Well, yeah, it's true, but the Democratic Party would be considered a conservative party in another country. The Overton window effect. We have a warped Overton window, not a normal Overton window. Because if our Overton window was normal, the Democrats in the United States would not be called a liberal party, they'd be called a conservative party. It just happens that the Democratic Party is a center-right party, and the Republican parties are way off the rails into extremist territory. So that's the difference. You got conservative, and then you got hardcore fundamentalist, right-wing, crazy people. Maybe some sane people in the Republican Party, but mostly crazy lunatics. And then you got the Democrats who are happy to stand for nothing. In fact, I would say that the Democratic Party, and some people may call bullshit on this, but I would say if you put the Democratic Party in the UK, it'll be in some ways maybe slightly to the right of the British Conservative Party. So there you have it. Why on earth Bernie Sanders and AOC and other progressives run in the Democratic Party? Well, realistically, what else is there? I mean, that's viable. So it's understandable why the left coalesced inside the Democratic Party. And I temporarily re-register as a Democrat here in North Carolina, so I can go and vote for Bernie Sanders in the Democratic primaries. I wouldn't get any shit from them at the voting stations, because I was registered in the Green Party. So I went and registered as a Democrat temporarily. And as soon as I could, after I voted Bernie Sanders, I went to the Board of Elections and I re-registered back into the Green Party. And who knows if the Green Party remains on the ballot? I may run for an office one of these days. Just got to see what my options are and see what happens from here on. But right now, I'm doing this channel, and I'm here to promote Bernie Sanders. But I'm also here to promote the idea of a Labor Party. I think that the absence of a Labor Party in the United States is the reason why we do not have a national health care system. It's the reason why we do not have at least one half of the population, working population in a labor union, where now it's less than 10%. we have one of the lowest unionization rates in the industrialized world. You compare that to what, 40% of the workforce or something like that in Canada, or in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, where it's up in let's see, like 90% of the workforce, 9 out of 10 people in Norway, Sweden, and Denmark belong to a labor union, and they have the highest standard of living in the world. Even after Margaret Thatcher savaged the union movement in the UK, their unions are still stronger than we are over here. So, you know, a weakened labor union movement, trade union movement that's almost non-existent in the United States. My previous job, I belonged to a labor union. It was a rather weak union, but it was better than nothing. Absence of a national health care system and a safety net that's kind of tattered is the reason why we are behind. And I think that maybe the way to remedy that is through a Labor Party. And folks, it could happen if the Democratic Party, and they are fucking over Bernie Sanders, but they really do what they did in 2016 and repeat. A lot of people saying they don't see how the Democratic Party can survive this. Some people are going to blame Bernie Sanders. No, you don't blame Bernie Sanders. You don't blame AOC. You don't blame the squad. You don't blame Leadership Council. The corporate centrists that control the Democratic Party. A corporate-owned media that keeps the narrative in the mediocre center. Folks, it doesn't have to be this way. I mean, I wish we could be like Canada, where if I was in Canada, I would be in the new Democratic Party of Canada. Would have to choose between the Liberals and the Conservative. I could belong to the NDP. Or in England, I could belong to the British Labour Party in the UK. You know, or I could belong to the Social Democrats in Sweden, or the Parti Socialiste in France, Socialist Party. Or, you know, just any country has a viable center-left party. I wish that we could have an independent Labor Party in this country. Really do. And it may be that day could come sooner than we think. It may not be called a Labor Party or Social Democratic Party. Knowing America being the way it is, it probably will call itself something like the Progressive People's Party, or I like the Progressive Populist Party. And even, you know, I say bring back the name, the Old Farmer Labor Party that used to exist up in places like North Dakota, Minnesota, places like that. Or just simply be the Progressive Party, the party of Teddy Roosevelt, or in 1912, or Robert La Follette in 1924, or former Vice President Henry Wallace under FDR when he formed the Progressive Party in 1948. Don't confuse Henry Wallace, a good man, relatively good man, with George Wallace, the vile racist from Alabama that ran for president later on in the 1968 American Independence Party. Please don't confuse the two. But suffice to say, we really do need to break up the two-party system in this country, and the sooner the better. I'm Bernie Bro. Feel free to comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Subscribe, peace, and for a non-violent revolution. That was me in 2020, and that's what I had to say, and I meant every word of it. You know, as I said, well, I meant pretty much 95% of it. You know, and I'll play you another video. Not in any particular order. It's like 3 more. So, and the others are relatively short. So, let me go ahead and try to find that. I'll go ahead and play it. And I hope you're having a great day. I'm doing what I love to do most: blab away about politics, for better or worse. There's rumor floating around that Bernie Sanders may be calling it a day for his campaign and dropping out. And I would say to Bernie to please do not do this. Do not. I mean, you're the last man standing against Joe Biden. But if I were, I mean, Bernie, you're 100 times smarter than me. So I mean, who am I to second guess? Having that said, what would it harm to stay defiant to the end? To tell the Democratic establishment what pieces of shit that they are for Reaganizing the Democratic Party through the days of the Democratic Leadership Council. To make the Democrats the other center-right party in the United States, the center-right light party. And that's what it became. I mean, and there are no options, viable options for the most part to the left of the Democratic Party. Yeah, I mean there are, but they're not viable. I have floated around with independent politics for many years myself. I'm independent again. I have to be because with this election and the rigging that went on. And I'm sorry, establishment Democrats and supporters of establishment Democrats, there was rigging going on at every turn. The media, the corporate wing of the party, all coalescing around and then doing everything they could to not just Bernie Sanders, but Marianne Williamson, Andrew Yang, Tulsi Gabbard, and Bernie Sanders. The Democratic Party do not like outsiders. It's not in 2008. It's just part of the game. Let me not forget Mike Gravel, 2008, and again this past year they did it. They rigged against him too. Everything they could to basically brush the left aside. And Lawrence O'Donnell at MSNBC pretty much said it, that, hey, the Democrats don't have to listen to the left. If the left just stay there as their foot soldiers. Worse, because they're right. The Republicans are significantly worse. But at the same time, are the Democrats really all that much better? I mean, what you have is a one-party state masquerading as a two-party state. And I believe that was a quote from Jello Biafra. I know he said it, but if he's quoted somebody else, I stand corrected. But I believe Jello Biafra said that we're a one-party state masquerading as a two-party state, and that's pretty much what we have, folks. So I wish that Bernie Sanders would stay defiant to the very end, and he's not going to run for president again. Just he will be remembered very well if he remains defiant. Folks, I am Bernie Bro. Please feel free to comment good, bad, or indifferent. Peace, and for a nonviolent revolution. We got to work for that goal, folks. Okay, that was another video from 2020. What I have to say, I'm sort of looking back at what I had to say and everything. And Earl, I would not have been offended if Bernie Sanders would have decided to retire this election in 2024. So he'll be around to kind of let the foot soldiers know, what could have been done, which, he may be right, but he needed to listen to his own advice sometimes and all of that. My understanding is that I think that they got something on him. They got something on him. I think that they're blackmailing him to kind of keep them submissive. I don't think he's done anything wrong per se, but they got something on him with his wife's situation as the president of the college, and they're trying to go and they've been trying to. There are people out there that have been trying to use that to try to destroy his reputation. So that's what I think that's being done. So let's see. Clear and Daly and Mike Wallace lost their seat because they're fucked up. Yeah, a lot of these politicians are fucked up. And Bernie Sanders is, as I said, so I was a true believer in him. And as I said, a lot of people a lot of people I know in my real life, they were like, I knew Bernie Sanders because of you. And this is like, we're talking about like a decade before he even ran for president. So again, I'll play you another one from, in no particular order, but this is from the early months of 2020. Here's another one. Hey. It's been a few days, so I figure we'll have a chat about Joe Biden and why he is the wrong choice. And folks, he is the wrong choice. The man has got no vision. I mean, that's all he wants to do is to be elected president. Do we need to vote for somebody just because he's got a big enough ego and just wants to run for president? That's it. And he's got no long-term plan. And while Donald Trump sucks as president, going back to pre-Donald Trump is not the answer. Because all we'll get is more corporate buddy systems and corporate welfare and corporately managed trade agreements that's anti-worker, more war, that sort of thing. We don't need that. And his running mate, the short list of females that he wants. And there's nothing wrong with a female vice president or even a female president. All I want is persons with good policies. That's all we want. I'm sorry, but Kamala Harris or Stacey Abrams or Amy Klobuchar, and y'all heard me say this before, they're not the answer. They're corporate centrists. And I'm fearful there's a rumor that Hillary Clinton might be Joe Biden's running mate, because everybody's kind of anticipating that Joe Biden may step down due to his cognitive decline and his, and his overall health. They sit there and say, well, Bernie Sanders is too old. But all of a sudden, Joe Biden, no problem. Even when that prick Mike Bloomberg was running, no problem about his age. Bernie Sanders is too old. That's what they claim. Oh, good Lord, folks. I mean, and let's not forget how corrupt Joe Biden is, because he is corrupt. I mean, his son Hunter in the Ukraine, the money he's getting and all that, and now the allegations of sexual harassment. And I don't know if he's guilty or not, honestly. But here's the thing. When a staffer for Bernie Sanders says something that was off-colored about a female, you had the old fucking media and all the anti-Bernie people saying, well, Bernie Sanders is obviously a misogynist and doesn't care about women. But then they don't say shit about Joe Biden. It's just like, why is it that there's always a double standard, and the double standard is there to go and fuck the left over? As I said, do I think that Joe Biden is a sexual predator? I don't know. If he is, don't give him the nomination. But here's the thing: if they decide to not give Joe Biden the nomination, what the fuck are they going to do? They're going to give it to Andrew Cuomo. Bernie Sanders he's put a strong showing in the primaries, and the Democratic Party is out there to try to fuck Bernie Sanders over again. Folks, this shit is just getting too old too quick. And I hope, and I am urging the entire left, even factions of the left that I don't agree with. I'm urging the entire fucking left to go to Milwaukee this summer if they can, and to protest and disrupt the Democratic convention. Because they're going, here's the thing, folks. Donald Trump will probably more likely be reelected. It's not what I want. But you know what? Joe Biden doesn't deserve our vote. Andrew Cuomo doesn't deserve our vote. Because what you're going to get, if you don't get Donald Trump, you're going to get fucking Donald Trump light. And as I said, I hope that the Democratic Party have a shitty convention for the way they're about to treat Bernie Sanders. And I'm urging each one of you, if you don't like Joe Biden, if you don't like Donald Trump, you don't like Joe Biden, you can always vote for the Green Party. I'm Bernie Bro. Please subscribe to this channel. Good, better, and different comments are all welcome. Peace. That was obviously before COVID shut everything down, but because I was kind of hopeful that before everything was on, video and everything like that, I was sort of hoping that the convention was going to be a normal convention and people were going to go over there and they were going to go and shut it down. That's what I was hoping. And what a horrible convention it was watching it on watching it on TV. It was horrible. At that time, I was still an avid TYT follower, and they actually denied TYT. They wouldn't do it today, but they did in 2020. They actually denied TYT press credentials at the 2020 Democratic National Convention. They also, they allow Michael Bloomberg to go and speak at the convention, but they did not allow Tulsi Gabbard to speak at the convention at all. And she was qualified to speak at the convention. This is the sort of thing that chased her to the other side. And even AOC, and I love thinking about Tulsi Gabbard and AOC in the same sentence, more for obvious reasons, but anyway, still do. But anyway, she was given just a tiny sliver, I think like about a minute to speak. It was something really minuscule. And so, it was a really awful convention to watch. So, and it was basically they wanted to go and piss on Bernie Sanders and all that. They were trying to go and trying to solve their little Bernie problem. And they did. They solved their little Bernie problem. So, they can blame him when they need to blame him, and when they need him to rally the troops, they have him to rally the troops. So that's the role of Bernie. He's the punching bag when he needs to be their punching bag, and he's their troop rallier when they need to rally the troops. I'll play you one more video, and I'll finalize my words here. Okay. All right, and we'll get started. Hey, yes, I'm live. I'm Bernie Bro, and
I hope all of y'all, even people I'm angry at, are having a terrific day. What can I say? I'm really fucking mad at the Democratic Party centrists. You got your way. You told us progressives for many years, don't go third party. If you want to bring your ideas into the public, why don't you work in the Democratic Party? We'll have you. Come in there. Join the party. Run for an office. What y'all did to Bernie Sanders, a second time even, what y'all did, brought the party not forward. You brought the party back to 1989 when it was in the wilderness, and it remained in the wilderness even during the Clinton years. Because what y'all did was y'all just became like a kinder version of George Herbert Walker Bush. And what y'all going to do with Joe Biden, you're going to run this clown, and Donald Trump is going to be reelected, and we're going to have the second Reagan era. And it's because of you Democrats. I retire in about a decade, and I'm thinking this country's hopeless. We're never going to have a national healthcare system at this rate, and our unions are going to decline down to zero, and we're just going to be, we're going to just be the ugly exception to the rule. I'm retired in about a decade. Maybe I will consider moving out of this country at this point, because you're hopeless, America. I mean, there's problems in other places, but Great Britain, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. I mean, they got their problems and everything, but you know what? They got free medical care. I mean, what's a social democrat to do in the United States? And instead of moving forward with social democracy, and that, to even move back to modest efforts by FDR's New Deal or LBJ's Great Society, you decided that you're more content being a moderate 1980s Reaganite. Democrats, you are hopeless. But you know what? This summer, when they have the Democratic Party convention, I hope it's an unpleasant convention for y'all. I hope y'all have a shitty time. I hope there's massive protests. I even hope y'all get disrupted by left-wing troublemakers. Even left-wing troublemakers that I wouldn't support. And because you stole from Bernie Sanders. You just gave us Joe fucking Biden. Mr. Third Way, Mr. I want to cut Social Security and Medicare. The guy that wrote the language for the Patriot Act. The guy that was behind the crime bill that incarcerated a lot of African Americans, innocent people during the 1990s. A crime bill that expanded the death penalty to 50 federal crimes. Y'all expect me to vote for that son of a bitch? You expect me to vote for Joe Biden? It frightens me that we're going to have another 4 years of Donald Trump. You almost deserve that shit. I mean, really, Democratic Party, your corporatists are garbage. I mean, you even made fucking peace with George W. Bush, the dumbest motherfucking president this country's ever had, the most worthless president this country's ever had. Joe Biden put a medal around his neck. I know what some of y'all gonna be saying. It's like Orange Man bad. Orange Man bad. Orange Man bigot. Do I have to keep mentioning Jesse Helms? Hobnobbing around Jesse Helms? That's fucking Joe Biden. I'm trying to tell you, Democrats, you're about ready to make a mistake. I am, Bernie bro. I'm really pissed with y'all. I'm going to vote Green Party in November. And you don't like it, bite me. I'm Bernie bro. Comment good, bad, or indifferent.
Yep, that's basically a little bit of what I was doing back in 2020 when I first started doing the channel videos and everything, and that was me then. This is me now. Very cynical, just almost doomer like when it comes to politics, to the point where I have to call it out on one hand, or just make fun of it on the other. Except I'm not funny enough, but that's something that I can try to work on. But it's funny to me anyway. So, but just I want to just troll them now. That's all I want to do at this point. I just want to troll and humiliate these motherfuckers, the powerful. Get under their skin, irritate them, because of what they have done and the things that they have deprived our society of, and what they have done to our world. I mean, I'm just so angry with these people and all of that, and if you're not angry, I'm got to say, what the hell. So anyway, and it was just an opportunity to give just a little bit of a flashback of what I do, or what I started doing almost 5 years ago. Let's see. What can I say here? Let me go ahead and give my shout outs to everyone over here, and I will go ahead and skedaddle out of here, because I have to go to work shortly. I don't want to miss out on anyone. So Chuck Intergalactic UFO Show says, Willy, flashback. Yes, it is. It is a flashback show. I might do some more of those. Anna Moose says, hello, y'all. And hello, Moose. And we're going. Kama Shwari Kate says, and right there. And Moose, I'm good, just always busy. And I know that feeling. We have here Earl of Rural is in the house. Let's see. I'm looking through here. This is funny. Bernie Bro 1992 was a Slick Willy. I voted for Slick Willy. I'm yawning because when I slept this morning, I slept on a couch sitting up. Isn't that crazy? All right. That's what happened when you work graveyard shift. Max RJ, see, Max RJ is here, and he says, "Hey Warren, politics is one of the worst that we could do, especially in this day." Yep, I'd probably be a happier person if I didn't give a shit. You know, P Stub says, but then again, I wouldn't know all you great people in this audience. Commissary K says, "Are you getting a? I mean, excuse me. P Stuff said, Commissary K, are you getting any of that crazy rain?" Right, and whew, I'm scrolling through here to make sure nobody's forgotten, forsaken. Hello, hello, everyone. Says Snipe Hunter. Hello, Snipe Hunter. How the hell are you? And that's pretty much, I'm going to be summing it up right now. I'm going to kind of catch. I'm going to probably going to rest a few more minutes before I go to work, because I don't want to go to work. Fucking capitalists, swine, just make me go to work. Isn't that terrible? So anyhow, so anyway, you got a chance to see me in my early years, first few months of my video, and now a lot of it was actually even before COVID did the little lockdowns, with the lockdowns and all that. That was actually, yeah. Or I think one of the videos actually did the lockdown started transpiring. It was like just all of a sudden everything just, the world just turned upside down overnight. It was not just Bernie Sanders, it was the shutdowns, and it was everybody's shit was taken away from them. Their jobs was taken away from them. Their health care was taken away from them. We saw the biggest transference of wealth in the history of this country given to corporations, and that's another thing about the old Trumpy there, and they're like, some people are like, Trump represents the working class. We got a couple of checks from Trump. That was okay. But remember, $4.5 trillion got transferred to companies with the condition that they would not lay off the employees. Well, they were given the money, they laid off the employees, and they never pay the government back. This is what our gangster government do right here. And that was done under Trump. And so Trump and Biden and whomever, it's all a buddy system. They all give you this false illusion that they oppose each other, and in some ways they kind of do. But there are people that work under all of these motherfuckers that they may hate each other on the top, but they work with each other on the side, and they're all making money, and they're all just taking a piss on every one of us. So when they say it's not between left and right, it is between left and right. It's not between Democrats and Republicans per se, but it is between left and right. And it's between bottom and up. And bottom and up is left and right. And what I mean by that is that it is the powerful versus the powerless. And you have to talk to some right-leaning people who are in the bottom and who are powerless to convince them that what they need to do is to embrace the left. And that is to embrace workers uniting against these corporate assholes, and that's what needs to be done. We needed to do force a vote; it wasn't done. But right now, the only thing we got is to make a difference is to do maybe a general strike. Hey, Cowboy Kitty, how are you? I would say a general strike is probably the thing that we need to do right now. So, like Warren says a lot, is to shut it down. Hashtag shut it down. And that's what we need to do. I might even add that to the thing here. Get this thing going. So, whenever you post something, I think that we all need to start posting that hashtag to shut it down, because we need to shut it the fuck down right now. And I just realized something. I think I accidentally omitted Twitch on this video. Oh damn. Oh well. That's okay. So anyway, if you like what you heard, please press like and comment. Oh yeah. Let me make my announcements real quick. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m., Bragglands will be on. I had something to do last night. I will talk about it tomorrow on Bragglands. But last night I was gone, so wasn't able to do Bragglands. But we'll do Bragglands tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So looking forward to seeing y'all tomorrow, and I'll do my Friday show, of course. There'll be an 8:00 show on Friday of the Willy Bragg Show. And there will be some changes in the new year over a few things, and details come around a little bit later. So there is also that. If you like what you heard, please press like and comment. Comment any way you disagree with what I have to say. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As the First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we're in fact the muckrakers of our time. To remember to subscribe to the Willy Bragg Show on all my platforms. I ideally would love to have 1,000 subscribers prior to January 1st. Seeing that might not happen, I'm willing to wait to February 17th, 2025, which will mark my 5th year here on YouTube live streaming. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to this channel, and tell your friends about this channel, and urge them to subscribe to the Willy Bragg Show. And doesn't cost anybody a cent to do this. Just helping out a struggling lefty trying to spread the news. So start spreading the news. Anyway, and be sure to like on these. Again, when you press like, it also helps with algorithms, and sharing also helps too. So there is that. So also remember to reject corporate media, because corporate media is why we're in the mess that we're in. Too much propaganda. And to always remember to let's work together to fully free and pardon Ed Snowden, to pardon Julian Assange, to free Palestine, to work on a Medicare for all system for all Americans, to have free health care, and to have free speech for everyone, to be protected, and all that. So anyway, y'all take care. Good night. I will talk to y'all later on. Bye-bye.